obviously I got an obsession with Caitlin Clark. So I want to bring a couple of things into this as it relates to Caitlin Clark, because she's so critical. And again, as the Jackie Robinson, she has success. It's going to encourage and inspire other women to stand up.
Let's dive into the current state of the WNBA, a league that's been gaining traction but still faces significant financial challenges. Despite the recent surge in...
And even though, Caitlin's doing it very subtly, if at all, maybe it's all unintentional, but I do know she's the target. And I saw that Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe were talking about this, and they're all trying to frame this, the Caitlin Clark deal.
Popularity, thanks in part to stars like Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is projected to lose
in this racial envelope, and they're wrong, and I'm going to explain to you why they're wrong. But we're going to start with Sue Bird on her podcast with her friend, or whatever they're calling each other themselves. SOT number 2. Let's play that.
Is around $40 million this season. This financial strength.
Can we just like call a spade a spade? Racism has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. This is not a new thing. Sure. This is, and in that way, I do think Caitlin's being used as a pawn. Mm-hmm. Caitlin didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening. And that, I think, is what's been such a shock for all of us, that other people are surprised by this.
Rain is starting to frustrate NBA owners, many of whom also own WNBA teams.
We've been trying to tell you. And once again, for so long, as a player, I would almost joke. I'd be like, I would have loved to have shut up and dribble. In so many ways, I would have loved to have been valued as a basketball player. I would have been loved to have been spoken about just for my play. I think everybody in the league can say that. But nobody ever let us do that. So what happened?
Teams. For instance, James Dolan, the owner of the New York Knicks, is pushing for more transparency.
We started to build a backbone, a little bit of an identity. We understood that in order to push our league forward, we were going to have to combat these things. And then you know what else we learned? It feels good to stand up for yourself. It feels even better to stand up for others. We started to learn that people were learning from us and able to follow us in a different way. And who are we following? Black women.
Transparency from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver about when the WNBA will start turning a profit.
So that's such an important part. And I think, again, I get sad when I talk about this a little bit in that we're still not talking about basketball.
No.
We're still not allowed to be focused on for our basketball play. And it's not to say we're not going to continue to combat these things. That'll always exist, I think, in the fabric of our league. But we still aren't talking about basketball.
Profit. Other owners are appreciative of Dolan's effort.
They're not talking about basketball because you don't want to talk about basketball, just as you described there. You couldn't get any traction based on your basketball. And so you decided, hey, we got to talk about racism and sexism to draw attention. We have to kneel during the national anthem to draw attention. It's bad strategy.
Efforts, as they too are growing impatient with the ongoing losses.
You just wanted attention. You were being an attention whore. And so because your basketball couldn't do it, you went to other things. It's like a kid that can't get attention from its parents. They start acting out.
The WNBA's financial woes are nothing. In a recent WNBA playoff game, Caitlin Clark experienced an eye poke from Dejonai Carrington, which sparked a lot of discussion. This reminds me of an event that changed my life. In 2016, I was driving to a reunion with friends when a distracted driver ran a red light and crashed into me. My car was total, and I ended up needing multiple knee surgeries. Insurance companies often try to pay you less than what you deserve after an accident, which is why I'm excited to introduce our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the country and can fight for the best possible result for your case if you become their client. Whether it's a minor accident or something more serious, they make sure the insurance company doesn't shortchange you. The best part? You don't pay them up front. If they don't win, you don't pay. If you ever find yourself in an accident, remember your options. You can start your claim now by clicking the link in description below. Thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video.
They'll do anything to, I'll start skipping school. I'll start smoking marijuana. I'll start talking back to my teacher. I'll start doing things to get my parents' attention because I'm not getting enough attention. That's what you did. You chose bad behavior because your basketball wasn't good enough.
New, the league has been operating at a loss for nearly.
And instead of saying like, no, someone showed up here who plays good enough basketball to draw attention, and now people are actually evaluating my basketball. They're having conversations about, well, who's Rookie of the Year? Who's the MVP? Is it Caitlin Clark? Is it Asia Wilson? People are talking about basketball.
3 decades. The NBA, which owns about 60% of the WNBA.
And so this whole thing of, racism stopped the WNBA. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Here's the facts. Here's what's been the problem with the WNBA. Now, I'm sorry, these are just true facts. You had too many women.
NBA has been keeping the league afloat with substantial investments. In fact, when
tatted up and looking like men, that it was unattractive. People don't want to see that. People don't want to see women doing an impersonation of men. I know that everybody in San Francisco and everybody on the left loves a drag show, but there are a lot of traditional sports fans
you include personal stakes in WNBA teams, NBA owners' involvement,
who have no interest in going to a drag show. I'm someone that used to go to Vegas a lot. Never went to a drag show. Never appealed to me. And that's not me saying, I'm the most heterosexual person in the world, and I am man, hear me roar. That's not
rises to around 75%. The league's recent growth, including sellout crowds for the finals.
It just never drew my attention. Spearmint Rhino, yeah, drew my attention. And that's a lot of people. You would be shocked at how many people have no interest in ever seeing men dressed up as women or women dressed up as men.
Between the New York Liberty and Minnesota Lynx hasn't yet translated into profits for the owners. However, it's
not a good sales product. And so people weren't interested. Caitlin Clark shows up with her ponytail and no tattoos and plays a brand of basketball that's exciting and fun to watch, and voila, a crowd shows up. And then they take advantage like, we got Angel Reese.
Hope on the horizon. A new media rights deal set to kick in soon could significantly.
Who likes to be a woman and dress up as a woman. She's going to lean into that. We're going to pair her with Cameron Brink, who likes to dress up and appear like a woman. And the next thing you know, the brand of the WNBA started to change. Like, oh my God, these are women playing basketball. And Caitlin Clark plays in a way that's exciting and fun.
Boost the WNBA's revenue, potentially tripling their annual media rights income to between $180 million and $200 million starting in 2025. This financial boost is crucial, as the WNBA still lags far behind the NBA in terms of revenue. The current collective bargaining agreement, CBA, for WNBA players also highlights the pay disparity, with WNBA players not enjoying the same revenue-sharing benefits as their NBA counterparts. The relationship between the WNBA and its players is also a point of contention. Some players have expressed dissatisfaction with how the league is marketed and how their individual stars are promoted. There's a concern that if players continue to criticize new fans, it could drive away the very audience that is essential for the league's financial growth. In summary, while the WNBA is experiencing a surge in popularity, it still faces significant financial hurdles. The upcoming media rights deal offers a glimmer of hope for future profitability, but for now, the league remains heavily reliant on the NBA's support. Let's break down the current state of the WNBA and why its financial situation is causing tension among NBA owners. Despite the recent surge in popularity, largely thanks to players like Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is still facing significant financial losses. This season, the league is expected to lose around $40 million, a figure that's not sitting well with NBA owners who have invested heavily in the WNBA. The WNBA's expansion plans, including new teams like the Golden State Valkyries and a Toronto team, come with substantial expansion fees, but these fees don't benefit the NBA owners directly. For instance, the $50 million expansion fee for the Valkyries and the $115 million for the Toronto team won't be seen by their respective owners, such as Joe Lacob and Larry Tannenbaum, 23. NBA owners, particularly James Dolan of the New York Knicks, are pushing for more transparency from Commissioner Adam Silver about when they can expect a return on their investments in the WNBA. However, Silver has not provided any clear answers, and the consolidation of WNBA financials within the NBA's overall numbers makes it difficult for owners to get a clear picture of the WNBA's financial health. 5. The WNBA is set to benefit from a new media rights deal starting in 2026, which could increase their annual revenue to between $180 million and $200 million. However, if the players opt out of their current collective bargaining agreement, CBA, by the November 1st deadline as expected, salaries could rise significantly, potentially eating into the projected profits, $235. There's also a concern that the behavior of some WNBA players could drive away new fans. The recent popularity boost, largely driven by Caitlin Clark, could be undermined if players continue to alienate